It's time for the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Glad you're along on a Friday. Our Friday is always brought to you by Big Chief Tire Company with 6 locations on the First Coast. We appreciate our friends very much from Big Chief. Frangie, Carline, and La Selva with you. Somebody said earlier, by the way, we're wearing the same shirt. It's not true because we wouldn't be able to fit. We just happen to be wearing 2 shirts that look alike.
That's a very good point.
I got to put you. It's all about accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay? It's all about accuracy.
It's amazing it doesn't happen more often because I only have like 5 shirts that I wear to work. So there's always like a 20% chance that we're going to wear the same shirt. I mean, you mix it up more than I do.
I heard you say that earlier.
It's honestly like the math is not with us on this. Like it's amazing it doesn't happen.
I don't think this is the first time this week even.
No,
it is.
Yeah. But I heard you say that earlier. Somebody said earlier, and you said only wear about 5 shirts. I said, no, he's right.
Yeah.
It's right about 5. So
yeah.
Very good fun.
I do like that one in particular. Yeah. I've never seen that one.
This is my favorite one.
Yeah.
These are
You bought this one, right?
I did, yeah. You got the logo, and Steve bought a bunch of them like this, and I bought just different colors.
Yeah.
So we changed colors a little bit on that. So that's exactly right.
I haven't worn, by the way. I am looking forward when it gets like 90. I saw Gibby wearing his at the remote the other day at Liberty Landscape, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That really nice thin navy.
Yeah, that's
that Steve got us. Like I haven't worn that yet, but it'll be perfect when it's like 90 degrees outside.
You're exactly right. So, all right,
that will be introduced into the repertoire. I just have to figure out who's getting demoted to AAA.
He's got to get called up.
That's a difficult conversation.
Yeah. Well,
to tell a shirt that you've been wearing for years.
Yeah.
That you're getting because you're probably never getting back in. That's the problem.
The problem
you're
is
probably never getting back to the 5.
But the shirt comes to you and says we can't go 6. And you tell the shirt that's not how we do it.
That's not how we do it. We have a 5-day work week. There are, I guess, occasions where if you have a game or something or a practice, then you're going beyond 5. But that's rare.
Did you ever know Tim McDonald, columnist at the Times-Union?
I didn't know. I know of him. I used to read him as a kid.
So Tim McDonald was our columnist, and he was a really good columnist. But he was just he was out there now. Tim was just a crazy out there guy. And he was just terrible dresser. He'd come in and cut off shorts and he was the columnist for the Times-Union. I mean, you're the lead columnist. So Mike Ritchie brought him in one time and said, Tim, you got to dress better. And Tim, he's just the ultimate free spirit. Funny as hell because the ultimate free spirit. He said, you got to dress better. Get yourself some shirts and some slacks. I mean, you can't do this. Okay, you're representing us. You're the number one guy. So Tim, God bless his soul, went out and bought 5 striped button downs and navy slacks. Okay, they were identical. It wore them every day. It's the same exact.
That's hilarious.
Blue and white striped button down and navy slacks. And I'll never forget one time he walked in there. He goes, "Hey, everybody thinks I got on Thursday. Wearing Wednesday." We were crying. And walked off. Didn't crack a smile. We were crying. Oh my God, we've all laughed. I mean, he literally did. He bought 5. Hey. We're on Wednesday. So anyway, so there is that. All right. Hey, listen, I do it. You don't get your feelings hurt easily, do you?
I try not to.
Thick-skinned guy, right?
I try to have thick skin. Yeah.
Yeah. I need you to today.
Okay.
Because at 4:12.
Wow, 9 minutes away.
Yeah, 4:12. Konnor Griffin, the Pirates phenom, has been called up.
Yeah.
So I doubt I'll hear anything you say today. Just so you know, there's not much. It's not like I listen to that much do you say anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like it's that big a change.
Right.
But we're even going the other way now.
Well, it's not the first time I've had to carry the show.
No, it's not.
You know,
no,
we're
actually, that's
prepared.
almost a daily thing. But now you have to do it even more than ever. Now you have to really.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about it in the handoff. Like, obviously we've worked together since like January of 17.
Right.
So, and the Pirates have never been anything of consequence
they've always sucked.
in that run. But it is really cool that you guys now, in the period of like a year and a half, have brought in arguably the best pitcher in baseball.
Correct.
And now have this 19-year-old phenom that everybody is comparing to, like, the rise of Bryce Harper and things like that. So, I mean, I'm excited for you. I hope, I'm a Braves guy first, but I hope the Pirates give you something to cheer about into, deep into the season.
So he's this great prospect. He's 19. Now I will tell you the story. They started him in AAA, and if you notice, I didn't whine about that. So we went down there for that. I don't know if I said this on the air or not, but I went down for that Saturday game. And JJ, it was the last week of spring training, so you have all the players. So everyone's there then. I mean,
like the real team.
It's the real team, right? So you go down there with the real team there. So when I went down there, Kevin Gausman was pitching for the Blue Jays. and it was clear he was overmatched. It's clear Griffin struck out 3 times. So I said, okay, start him down. So I don't mind them starting him in AAA, but the reality is he played like 4 games, hit 400, and he's coming up now. So there you go. So I will be watching. JJ, somehow you found it. You're gonna have to come find it for me because
I will.
I can't not find it.
I got Mitch Keller on the mound for my fantasy team.
Mitch Keller is
big day for both of us.
He 6 shutout innings. You probably know that.
How often do you have to set your lineup for fantasy baseball?
Every morning.
Every morning,
pretty
okay.
much. Yeah.
How many people are in? How many people in your league?
10.
Okay.
Is it pretty competitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gibby wins it all like every other year.
Yeah.
Really?
But
Of course he
he's like takes it way serious.
Okay.
Well,
But, yeah, we've had a good core for probably close to 10 years now that
All
do
right.
it.
So by the way, fantasy football is all the rage, but baseball was first. It was called rotisserie baseball.
That's right.
Remember they called it rotisserie baseball, and that led to fantasy. So all right, so
who got Griffin?
I'm not sure, but he was a guy that, like, even though he hadn't played in the majors, people would have drafted him a while ago.
Right. So
not me. I know that.
So again, I won't pay no attention to anything you guys are saying after 12. Bunch of stuff going on in the world of college football. The president is going to sign this executive order. There's a number of things in it. I'll say this: I don't necessarily like the politicians getting involved in sports. I think most of the times we don't want that. But I'll tell you, Hayes, and I know I've sounded like a broken record on this one, but if that one goes through, the 5 to play 5 with only 1 free transfer, I'll be the happiest guy around. I think it might be, if it happens. And again, I don't know. I'm not the executive order. I'm not completely sure I know what that means. Does it mean states have to follow it, or they're recommended to follow it? And I don't want to talk out of turn, but assuming it has to happen, okay? If all of a sudden it's in place and you can't go to 3 or 4 schools, in my opinion, and I know I sound like a broken record. You've heard me say this on this show a bunch in the last week and a half. It'll be the best thing to happen in college athletics in 20 years. I really believe that.
Yeah, and I thought Alex Ricker-Gilbert, had a really good perspective on it yesterday when we asked him about it, and he said, "Well, it can't be any worse than how it is now.
That's
like,
right.
it'd be hard to make it worse than what we're dealing with now." So, yeah, anything is a step in the right direction. The analysts that I've seen believe that the executive order will immediately get challenged, and we'll have a lot of trouble,
Right.
holding that challenge off. But yeah, it is good that they're trying to get something going and create some stability in the market and some stability for the schools. And again, the players are still going to be very well compensated.
Right.
I mean, this is not taking money away from the athletes. They're still going to get if you're a good player in college, or probably even if you're just an above average player in college, you're going to leave after 5 years as a multimillionaire. Like, and in some cases, you might leave with over $10 million in your pocket, depending on, if you're one of these great players, but not really a great professional prospect.
Right.
So anyway, yes, hopefully we do get some stability and have, players that aren't just playing for 5 schools in 5 years.
All right, a lot of things to talk about today. I'm going to start, though, with a different college topic. Greg Byrne and Kirby Smart, the athletic director at Alabama, and, of course, the coach at Georgia, had an interesting comment about the postseason. You probably saw it. I'm going to tell people what that was. We're going to talk about that coming up on the program today. Our NFL talks about the Jaguars. It's going to be about the Jaguars offense. That's all I'm going to tell you, Hayes. I got a conversation about the Jaguars offense that comes up today on the program. Tommy Lloyd stays at Arizona. How does that affect the Gators at all? We'll certainly talk about that. Our teams around here, we'll certainly get to that. We'll update you on baseball. Who's off to a good start this year in baseball and who's not. So we got a lot of stuff to do. We're full up. Pete Prisco will be joining us at 5 o'clock to talk NFL. I'm going to ask Pete the same offensive question that I'm going to ask you. So all that comes up on the program today. So we're glad you're with us on this installment of the program. Our Fridays are always brought to you by our friends at Big Chief Tire Company. They're on the north side. There are 2 on the west side. They're on the south side. They're now in Orange Park. They're now in Mandarin. If you can hear me now, you're near a Big Chief Tire Company. What does that mean? That means tires. It means automotive service of any kind, oil changes, brakes, alignments. They'll make sure that car is running right. They keep jacks rolling, and they truly, truly do. We appreciate our friends from Big Chief Tire Company. I'm going to talk SEC football. That's what's coming. You like SEC football?
I do. I love it.
We're going to start the program with that. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It sure is great living in the Sunshine State.
And I remember Florida.
It sure is great living on the First Coast. Jacksonville Sports Radio is 1010XL.
Alert! Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix it with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimnik forever, and they really are that good. You know, for 3 generations, Nimnik's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
In a sea of big box corporate chain jewelry stores here, Beard's Diamonds is a refreshing alternative.
I grew up in Jacksonville, and we have been shopping at Beard's for over 2 decades.
Meet Richard Skinner. Richard's journey with Beard's started when nobody could even come close on the engagement ring he wanted.
We did shop around that stone and that particular setup with different jewelers, and Beard's was able to come in significantly lower. It was a no-brainer.
Since then, he's become another voice in the word-of-mouth advertising that has made Beard's stronger than ever.
I have referred my friends and sisters and brothers, and they have all had a very, very pleasurable experience at Beard's. The selection is great. The staff is awesome. It's a well-run business that really does care about their clients and their customers.
And unlike the others at Town Center, Beard's is a locally owned family jeweler.
The fact that they're locally owned, it does give you a little bit more personal experience. They actually have a desire to better the city of Jacksonville.
Beard's Diamonds. Online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Mark your calendar for Friday, April 17th at the Yards for the second annual Birdies and Bounces, presented by the Mackenzie Noel Wilson Foundation. This premier golf and pickleball tournament brings together competition, community, and purpose for an unforgettable day on the course and courts. Proceeds benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida, helping create great futures for local kids. Register or learn more at bgcnf.org and click events. Join us for a day of fun and impact for youth in our community.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
I'm with Greg from Cycles in Jacksonville, and Triumph is a known name when it comes to beautiful rides on the road. What is the latest from Triumph?
Well, if you didn't come, we had an unleashing at the dealership last week. We saw 6 new models from Triumph, anything from 400 cc's to 1200 cc's. If you're looking at a bike, you got to look at the new Triumphs.
Experienced riders will love it.
And the inexperienced will love it. We've got something for everybody in the Triumph lineup. Great, great motorcycles.
Showroom waiting for you. Triumph. Find them at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
Hi, we thank our friends from Big Chief Tire with 6 locations here on the First Coast. Well, my goal was to ignore you for 2 hours. Okay.
Yes.
So
now it's a little easier.
One of the things I was just going to say.
Now we have big news.
But the Jags have messed that up a little bit. Not really. Very good news. The Jags, according to Ian Rappaport, it just broke. They have signed Trayvon Walker to a massive extension. 4 years, $110 million, 77 of that guaranteed, 50 at signing. That is really good news. He's a really good player. He's a very important part of the present and the future. The former Georgia Bulldog is hard a worker, plays as hard as a physical defensive lineman as there is out there. He's had a couple 10-sack seasons. I think more of those are coming. So big news, Hayes, for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, this is, I think it's a very reasonable contract. Trayvon Walker is 25 years old. Doesn't turn 26 until mid-December. So this will be basically his year 25 season. So it's a 4-year deal, like you mentioned the terms, $110 million, 77 guaranteed for a player that you're going to get years 25, 26, 27, 28 in. And then you compare this deal to what the Lions signed Aiden Hutchinson to, which obviously Walker and Hutchinson are going to be compared until the end of time because they went 1-2 in the draft. Trent Baalke selecting Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson in controversial fashion. Well, Aiden Hutchinson's deal is 4 years, $180 million with $141 million guaranteed. So yes, Trayvon Walker hasn't had the impact that Aiden Hutchinson has had. But the Jaguars are getting Walker at a far lower price than what the Lions re-upped Hutchinson on.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not even in the same stratosphere in terms of contracts. $180 million versus $110 million, same length of time, and the guaranteed money for Hutchinson is almost double what it is for Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, so it's a great deal. Now, look, Hutchinson's got better numbers to start his career, but bottom line is, regardless of how it compares to Hutchinson to the point, this is a really, really good day for Jacksonville. You can see the foundation being built. I think we all can see the foundation being built. And by the way, I apologize. I teased the fact that we were going to talk SEC football, and then this broke. To SEC football fans, at the bottom of the hour, you'll get my take on that and what's going on in the world of SEC.
Hey, Trayvon Walker played in the SEC.
That's exactly right. So it's sort of but again, you hate to say something's coming up and then it doesn't, but this story just broke, which is why we're not getting to it now. But nonetheless, this is part of the foundation. It's very clear that this group knows what it wants to do. It's very clear they're going to be good at what they do. It's very clear that this foundation is real. I am very, very excited about this. Listen, I still believe Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker, if they get some help, meaning coverage in the secondary, meaning somebody in the interior, a 3 technique, whatever, that can occupy enough linemen that you can't chip these guys the whole time, are going to be one of the better pass rush duos in the league. I believe that. We're not that far removed from 17-5 and 10-5 one year. I believe that can happen. I still believe it all my heart. So this is an exciting day for the Jaguars. One of the hardest workers on the team, one of the best weight room guys. Tell me about Trayvon. You interview him a lot. He's a former Bulldog. He's got his own camp that he holds in Thomaston, Georgia. He's very well liked there. This is a special guy, and he's going to be here a long time.
This is a guy that really has the potential to be one of the best defensive players in franchise history. Now, again, that's not an overly high bar. When you look at the players that they've had here, they haven't had a lot of defensive stars that have played here 10 years, which now obviously Trayvon Walker has the opportunity to do. But he's everything you could want. He's got an incredibly high motor. He's got an incredible work ethic. He plays through injury, which we saw last year when he went through 2 different, very difficult things that certainly affected his production. But I mean, he's a wrecking crew. I mean, he dominates the run game. Again, no one wants to really focus much on that because we obviously get wrapped up in sacks and pressures, and certainly that's very important. But you do need to stop the run, and the Jaguars did lead the NFL in run defense, and while Devon Hamilton had a lot to do with that, so did Trayvon Walker.
I agree with that. That's a great point.
And so if you can establish a team that can consistently shut down the opponent's run game, you've got a chance to win a lot of football games. And so I think, and I do think Trayvon Walker, as he gets, I still think there's upside there. Again, he's just 25. So, I mean, you're talking about the peak of his career probably coming 27, 28. So he still has a couple of years before, he's probably a finished product at this level. And he's everything you want in a football player. He's a lunch pail guy with megastar traits. And I'm very happy that he's here. I will be curious to see now that they've got him locked in, does the role change at all? Do they try to give him more looks as a pass rusher at tackle on obvious passing situations? which they've experimented with, but I don't think have ever really dove overly deep into.
Toward the end of last year.
They started to.
Yeah, because when they used Gardeck as the pass rusher, and they kept him on the field. But
that's it. So I mean, I think it's an A+ move. I mean, I think it's, obviously we talk about this organization for many years, never got players to second contracts. It was a massive problem. And now you're starting to see players get second contracts here. I believe Parker Washington is going to get one. I believe Brenton Strange is going to get one. I think those could come closer to week 1 than right now. But no, I think it's a brilliant move. And again, I think the numbers, this also, I'll say this for Trayvon Walker and his camp. I bet you if he hit the open market, he'd have gotten a number that's very much closer to Hutchinson than what he took with the Jaguars. This is one of the rare, I think, agreements where it looks like the player took less to stay with a club that he wants to be with. So obviously we'll see, Trayvon Walker can certainly discuss that whenever he meets with reporters. But I think Trayvon Walker loves being a Jaguar, and I think he took a very reasonable deal to stay a Jaguar.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any question about that. And I'll also say this: you send a message, and you've continued to send messages. I think the Jags have continued to send messages here that your good players are going to get rewarded. I mean, that's what it's about. It's not because he was the first overall pick of the draft. Not with this group.
Yeah, I mean, James Glasgow doesn't care about that at all.
That's exactly. I'm telling you, good players are going to get rewarded. So once again, the big news: Trayvon Walker, according to Ian Rappaport, 4 years, $110 million, 77 of that guaranteed, $50 million at signing. It is a great message. I'm telling you, this is a great message. It's an exciting day. I mean, it really is. Again, we're still kind of riding the high of that 13-win season, but then you wait forever for it, right? The free agent period was quiet for the Jags because it didn't need to be loud. The draft is at the end of April, the end of this month, but there's not a first-round pick. So news like this kind of get you going a little bit. It makes the vibe good, doesn't it?
Well, they're really starting to develop a great core of young talent that they have now gotten to second contracts. Trevor Lawrence, Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker. Obviously, we talked about it. We believe that number is going to continue to grow this offseason, probably closer into, the deeper into training camp with Washington and Strange. But that's what gets you excited. Again, that's why we believe when they go to Orlando in 27, they are going to be a team that can contend for the Lombardi Trophy. That's why in 2028, when the Stadium of the Future becomes the Stadium of the Present, I mean, they may be one of the hottest teams in the NFL when they open that stadium, and there's no reason to think they won't be very good this coming season.
Well, that's the thing.
The window is now, I'd say, wide open. Yeah. That's how I would describe the Jaguars. The window to win at a very high level is now wide open.
Yeah, and if you think about this, too, final thing, we'll go to break. Mike Dempsey's going to check in. He's at Clay County Fair. That'll be kind of fun for us. We're doing a lot of stuff out there. But before we go to break, I'll say this quickly. You want your young foundational pieces to be in play. That's going to be one of the questions when we get to our Jaguar segment today. You want your young foundational pieces to be in play. Well, the most important one's number 16. And that's in place for a while, okay? That one's in place for a while. I think you'll see that the three receivers of note, Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, and we'll see on Brian Thomas. I got a better feeling about him than some do. Is going to be in place. Brenton Strange is a big part of this thing. Running back's going to be interesting. I hope Bashal Tutin's the guy, and I think he might be the guy. I feel more good than bad about him, but we'll have to see. But they're in a good place, so we'll see. All right. So the big news today: Trayvon Walker, 4 years, $110 million. 77 guaranteed, 50 at signing. The Jags are keeping their important foundational pieces in place, and I absolutely love it. We'll take a break. We'll say hello to Mike Dempsey and do a whole lot more after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Spring is here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is Jacksonville's certified arborist for safe tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for homes and businesses. Protect your property, boost your curb appeal, and enjoy expert service you can trust. Keep your trees healthy and safe before summer arrives. Schedule your inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. It can be a little challenging shopping for your sports fans, young or old. Which players do they like? How much space do they have? Showtime gift cards are a great idea for your diehard sports fans when you just cannot decide. It's Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyoublow.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
All right, welcome back to the program. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline with you. Our buddy Mike Dempsey, who does such a good job hosting Jaguars Today, joins us now. And I'm going to ask you about the big goings-on in Clay County in a minute, Mike, but I don't want to bury the lead here. Trayvon Walker, 4 years, $110 million, 77 guaranteed. What do you think of the deal? What did you think when you heard it?
It's absurd that the Jaguars got him for that money. Jalen Phillips got 30 a year. He's never had 10 sacks in a season. Boye Mafe got 20 a year. He's never come close to 10 sacks in a season. And you got a guy who's done it twice. You know, he fits in with the makeup and character of this locker room. I think it's a great deal for the Jags. And obviously, you know, where's the cap space going to come from? James Gladstone's got that figured out, Frank. I think this is a phenomenal day for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. And again, Trayvon Walker's still just 25 years old, doesn't turn 26 until the middle of December. So you're talking about a player that, I mean, still should have a tremendous amount of upside. So I think we're just seeing sort of the start of Trayvon Walker's career here with the Jaguars in terms of him being an impactful player. Where do you see Trayvon Walker's game going over these next 3 or 4 years?
Well, let's be honest. He's got to, you know, crank it up in the sack department. There's no question about it. That's the main job of a defensive end. He does a great job against the run. He gets pressure. But here's the thing, Hayes and Frank. We know Trayvon's going to play hard. I don't think his money changes him one iota. I'm just surprised that he was willing to agree to a deal when he's a year away potentially from free agency, when you know the Jags are not going to slap the franchise tag at that position on him. And they got out of there with a deal annually that starts not only with a 2, but a 2.7.
Right.
I think it's a great price based on today's market.
And we're all excited about it, no question about it. Now let's get to Clay County. What's coming up in about a half an hour, Mike? I need details and I need them now, please.
Bro, we have got the corn dog capital of the world going on right here out in Clay County, Frank. By the way, can I get a Clay? That's our Duval when we're out on this side.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go with today. I've used that a couple of times. I got a couple of weird looks, but we're going to eat as many corn dogs as we can. We're going to have 2 flights of 5 minutes apiece, Frank. I'm here to tell you, I looked up the Major League eating record, and they say 11 full corn dogs in 3 minutes is the mark. I think if somebody out here can down 10 in 5 minutes, we're doing pretty good on the west side.
I love that, and you're the perfect guy because Mike's enthusiastic about this. Is there mustard involved, Mike, or do you go sans mustard here? I need to know details.
Wait, is this America still or what? Are you kidding me? We're going to swim in mustard before we put that thing near our lips. I mean, I think that's pretty much a prerequisite of this. You know, if Hacker was out here, you know he'd be eating them with ranch dressing. So, you know, maybe not anymore with the Awaken 180, but you get the idea, man. We're going to have a bunch of fun. Just don't eat the stick, Frank. Leave the stick behind. Everything else has to go.
All right, if you're nearby where Mike is, he's at the Clay County Fair. He's going to MC this corn dog eating contest. It's going to be fantastic. We're proud to be a partner at 1010XL, and Mike's going to do a fantastic job. Mike, thanks for checking in, brother. Have a good time out there, man.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'll bring you back a turkey leg.
That'll be perfect. Thanks, buddy. Mike Dempsey checking in from the Clay County Fair. We appreciate Mike checking in. Corn dog eating. You like corn dogs?
I do.
I love corn dogs.
Yeah,
JJ, you like corn dogs?
I actually don't.
Oh. What's the matter with you?
I'm just a hot
we have all this
dog
energy.
guy.
The show's moving. We have momentum.
I have to keep it real.
I love corn dogs.
So you just don't like the breading?
I hate the breading.
Okay. Interesting.
And you know what's crazy? I love cornbread and I love hot dogs, but together it's just.
Do you like?
I never
do you like
it.
America? How do you feel about America?
If it makes me hate America that I don't love a corn dog, then I don't know.
I do love corn dogs. And you got and Mike's right. You got to slap that mustard on now. I mean, you got to go all in. It's almost like, you know, I don't know if you know this or not. It's illegal, and I don't mean civic. It's a federal crime to eat one of those big pretzels without mustard. That's right. That's a federal crime.
Should we have more foods on a stick?
I love that. Yes. Number one, yes. It doesn't even matter what the food is. The answer to that is yes.
What about like a wedge salad on a stick?
A big salad.
It'd be harder.
Yeah.
It'd be harder.
Like you just get the wedge and you got the blue cheese and bacon dripping off the stick.
I love the idea.
Seems
if we could have like steak on a stick.
I think applying it would be harder.
Yeah.
That would be the thing. It's all about the execution, but I'm with you. I'm with you. But I will tell you this. I'm now thinking corn dog. I'm going to get me. It won't be tonight. We're going to dinner tonight, and I think where we're going tonight, we probably wouldn't order.
Imagine asking, do you guys have
corn dogs?
Corn dogs on
actually,
I'm sure the club would love that.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's where we're going.
We're
going to the club tonight with the Jack's Golf and Country, so we're going to be up there. I may just say, listen, it's Lent, and I wasn't going to eat a steak. I was going to eat salmon tonight because it's Good Friday. But do you have a corn dog? I mean, you got to ask that, right? I mean, so right, isn't that right?
I mean, if they're a reputable. You know,
if it's a real club,
they will have a corn dog.
Oh, goodness gracious. I am going to get to some SEC talk coming up, and we'll do that in the next hour.
Do they have chili dogs?
I don't know, but I sure hope so. The questions I'm going to be asking
tonight.
I love.
A chili dog.
I tell you what, Third old-fashioned in, no telling how many questions I'm going to ask tonight. I may get to all. I may have a list of these questions if I can find a way to read it coming up tonight on a Friday night. Hey, a few more things on Trayvon. Is there a move now? Is there a corresponding move that comes with this? Do you do this in bulk? Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else on the team that you either extend? Are there any other moves coming? This was the big one. We all knew that. What else?
I would think they'll wait, and the Parker Washington and Brenton Strange extensions will be closer to, like, I would say, like August 24th, somewhere in there, like when they pretty much are done with camp and just kind of now in the point where you get that little break before the start of the regular season.
Because that is two players you want on the team.
Correct.
I mean,
and you don't, like with Trayvon, you had the 5th-year option that you could play with. Obviously, they've picked up Anton Harrison's. That gives you more runway. You don't have that with Brenton Strange and Parker Washington.
Right.
And you can't let them, you just definitely can't let Brenton Strange hit the market.
No.
Parker Washington, I can see why you'd want to maybe make sure he has another really strong offseason and dazzles you in camp before, because he just doesn't, it's a smaller, smaller amount of great work that he's put out there compared to Brenton Strange. But yeah, I would think once we get deeper into the summer, you'll see Washington and Strange.
What are your expectations also for how they improve that front seven? We know that they've got to have more defensive tackles. Eric Armstead is even a little bit older. Last year held his own. Devon Hamilton had a great year, a very good year as a big two-gap guy. But Mason Smith, we don't know. I'm not convinced he's terrible. It's too early for that. But boy, he's got to make up ground. There's nobody else there. I appreciate the fact that Matt Dickerson's a guy they signed, and he's a good run stuffer. I shouldn't say that because Matt Dickerson's a good player, but you know my point. There's no other stars there as we speak. They got to find a will linebacker. We know that. At some point, there's going to be some guys getting older for you, Lewick, and hopefully Jack Kaiser is the heir apparent. But what do you see in that front seven, Hayes, that they as player procurement phase continues this year?
I would think you just add through the draft. I think defensive tackle has an excellent chance of getting addressed at 56. I'd be stunned.
That's the conventional
if
thinking,
they don't address it at some point on Friday of the draft week. So that's, I think it'll be
at least by
56, but certainly I can't imagine with one of the 3 third-rounders that they wouldn't address defensive tackle with one of those first 4. And then, yeah, I think linebacker is I think they're just going to rely on the draft. I think they're going to trust their scouts and trust their work, and I think the board lines up pretty well for them. So I would imagine that it's mostly draft additions to start developing and working into larger roles in future years. In terms of cap space with this deal with Trayvon, his cap number was $15.2 million this year. So they're probably going to actually get some relief, because my guess is his first year number with this will be, if anything, it'll go down. So that's normally how these things work. So from a cap standpoint, it could even give them a little bit of relief. We'll obviously have to see once the full numbers are in terms of how the money is allotted. And that's what makes it a little bit harder with Brenton and Parker, is their cap numbers just aren't very high this year. So anyway, it makes it maybe a little bit harder with those two for big time extensions right now. But I would think from a cap standpoint, this Trayvon Walker extension probably helps in the immediate more than hurts.
That makes sense. It makes sense. Back to the roster for a second. Maybe it's all draft picks. Maybe you're right. And I certainly think at defensive tackle, you can make that point. At least for today, Eric Armstead's going to be here. Matt Dickerson. Again, Matt Dickerson's a better run stuffer at that spot than Armstead is. So he, in fact, he started a lot of games when they would start in a base run defense, he would start the game. So Mason Smith, they're still holding out some hope, obviously, that there's something there. They drafted him very high. So I could see only addressing that in the draft, to your point. I got to believe they at least kick the tires on some veteran weak side linebacker. I just don't think, my opinion is, they don't go into the season with Ventrell Miller. And I like Ventrell. I've been a big Ventrell Miller fan. He can really run. He's explosive. I like Ventrell. Hayes, I don't see him going into the season with Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs and a draft pick at weak side linebacker. I think somehow, I don't know where they get them. Is it a post June 1 thing when someone's been cut for cap purposes? I just think there's a veteran at that spot.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult because obviously when we get to the waiver process, when we get to cut day and things like that, the Jaguars are going to be very far down the list because they obviously are coming off a 13-win season. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to get anybody, I would say, of consequence off of a waiver claim. Whereas there have been a lot of years where you might actually be able to take that avenue because the Jaguars were, drafting very high and therefore had, a very high waiver pick on every player. So I would think, I would think initially it's going to be a high draft, a second, third round pick, plus the in-house solutions that you have. But look, if they get into week 5 and it's a problem, they've done a great job of building picks in 27. So do they send somebody a 5th round pick in 2027 for a linebacker that can come right in and become an impactful player for them?
Yeah, at the very least, I'd be surprised if there's not somehow, some way, a veteran here to compete at that job, a veteran to compete with Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines coming up. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get Florida Gators play-by-play on 1010XL.
The Easter weekend series against 18th-ranked Ole Miss continues tonight and tomorrow night. Gators and Rebels on 1010 AM.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
An accident with a big truck can change everything in a matter of seconds. Medical bills start piling up, you're missing work, and the trucking company's lawyers, they get to work immediately. That's why you need a law firm that moves just as fast. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we fight for truck accident victims, digging into the details and holding negligent drivers and their trucking companies accountable. We don't get paid unless you do. Big trucks have big lawyers. You need a stronger fighter. Campione Law. Visit CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Before the Gators tip off, get tips from the great Gator. Patrick Young has breakfast with the Drill Friday mornings at 8:30, and they're talking Gators hoops. Take time out with Patrick Young. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers.
There's no doubt that we were in good hands when our son's shoulder and hip issues were diagnosed quickly by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what your orthopedic issue is, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take a look. You'll be glad you did.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Have you tried a Form Energy drink yet? You need to, and it's available at Gate. 4 great tastes, screaming free to Blue Blitz, Orange Fury, and Grape Smash. Form Energy, natural flavors, natural caffeine, and electrolytes for hydration are a perfect blend for energy and mental focus. Find it at Gate.
When you hear Florida Gators baseball on 1010XL, it's brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Are you an experienced automotive technician and tired of working for employers who put profit over people? Then come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road and get trained on how to diagnose and rebuild today's complex transmissions. See how we're different. Get traction on your career and come to Action.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. Oh, wow. That was a Tyson versus Spinks punch on that microphone.
Frank,
why are you so excited?
You can't score on that play. It was hit right at him unless you can fly for a 215-pound guy. Sorry. I stand correct.
What's going on in Major League Baseball today, Frank?
Other than this Konnor Griffin cat in his first ever at bat just roped a double into the gap for a rib. Then on a single to right field that he's got no business scoring on, except that if he's a football player, he'd be about a 4-3 guy. Scores from second. 2-0 Buccos is what's happening on a Friday afternoon. Hayes, thanks for asking.
Sure thing.
I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah.
Huh? Come on.
That was, how's the shoulder doing after that fist pump?
Sore.
Hand? Is the hand okay?
They're all sore.
Okay. The adrenaline
I'm old and sore.
Overweight.
Okay, but I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but notice we went to break really as he was walking up to the plate.
Is that what happened?
That was so coincidental.
It's funny how coincidences happen, isn't it?
Well, congratulations. That's phenomenal. Yeah, it was a very nice double.
Now they're just putting on the runs.
Yeah, I tell you what. Here we go. Oh, by the way, the Jaguars have reached an extension with Trayvon Walker. 4 years, $110 million with $77 million guaranteed.
For those of you that are cussing us right now, we did start the show with that, just to say, you know. But go ahead, please continue.
Yeah, I mean, just obviously a phenomenal move for the Jaguars. Mike Dempsey joined us in the last segment. I totally agree with him. Wonderful contract. I can't imagine that Trayvon couldn't have gotten more had he played this out. So I think a fantastic. It's hard to say 4 years, $110 million with $77 million is a bargain for the club. But when you look at what Aiden Hutchinson got from the Lions, Hutchinson's deals 4 years, $180 million, $141 million guaranteed. So Trayvon Walker, a great Jaguar. I think he took less money than he could have gotten had he reached the open market.
Well, Mike Dempsey said the same thing when he called in. I think you're right. And they're building a foundation. You made a good point, though. That proves he wants to be part of this, too, now. This isn't just, well, they paid me, so I'm staying. I think he loves it here. I think he and Josh Allen are really close. They're building a young foundation. You made a good point earlier, too. He's 25 years old. Seems like he's been here forever. It seems like he was on one side and Tony Brackens was on the other, but he's 25 years old. So this is a big day for the Jags. I mean, it really, really is. They've extended a really good player, no question about it.
Absolutely. The Jaguars, by the way, have announced their mandatory minicamp will be June 9th through the 11th. The first day of the voluntary offseason program starts April 20th. So, again, it'll be fun. Well, they'll have, probably like 6 OTAs. When you look at it, there's 9, but like 3 are scheduled after the mandatory minicamp, which I've never seen before. So I don't know whether, if anything, that'll be rookies or that'll just get canceled out. But yeah, it won't be long until the Jaguars will be back on the field. But that June 9th through 11th, we know that's a big week. That's when everybody's got to be here. And they usually have great participation anyway in the voluntary portion. Right. And I would imagine that will continue. No one really has any sort of contract gripe or anything like that. But we're getting closer to seeing what the 2026 Jaguars will look like.
Yeah, and I think there will be, to your point, I think they've built culture as well as roster balance. I mean, I think people are going to want to be here. Yeah, I listen. There's all kind of positive vibes. We got to calm down a little bit. They don't play till September. But I agree with you. Big day today. Signing Trayvon Walker on the heels of the announcement of all the special OTA days and, of course, mandatory days.
Absolutely. Let's get to college basketball. Arizona's Tommy Lloyd staying put, turns down the North Carolina offer. The 51-year-old Lloyd signed a 5-year extension to remain in Tucson.
And apparently took less to stay, which means he's committed. He's a West Coast guy now. Was at Gonzaga for 20 years with Mark Few. That's a great commitment. And listen, the world's changed, Hayes. Back in the day, you never would stay at Arizona if you could go to North Carolina because resources in place would make it, and it was all about 5-star recruiting. Resources in place would make it easier to win there. Well, he got Koa Pete. He got Koa Pete. It wasn't North Carolina that got him, one of the best freshmen in the country, so he proved you can get those guys. So good for Tommy Lloyd. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. Duke's Cameron Boozer wins Associated Press Player of the Year for the nation, the 5th freshman to do so, joining Cooper Flagg last year with Duke. Zion Williamson, also from Duke. Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant. Pretty good list to be on.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. But both Boozers are good, but Cameron's a really good player, and it's still not odd. Odd's the wrong word. But I still can't believe this Duke team is home. I can't believe this Duke team. I mean, as good as Duke was.
It is hard to believe.
I mean, they were 35-3 over the course of the season. 35-3. And I think 2 of the losses were at the end of the game. They lost by 5 points. You realize they were 35-3 with 3 losses by 5 points? Hard to believe.
Absolutely. Hey, let's get to Major League Baseball. Boy, Frank, what's going on in this Pirates game?
Well, it's funny you should ask. I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I mean, we're sitting here watching, talking. 4-0 Buccos over my friend Patrick Cavanaugh's Orioles. Let me point that out right now. PCAV, wherever you are. He's at Disney actually right now. 4-0 Pirates.
Listen, Konnor got the rally
yes,
going.
He did.
Really did.
Yes, he did. So Mitch Keller on the mound. Mitch Keller with a 4-run lead in the second should be okay. Now Pete Alonso might hit an 8-run home run, and that'll happen later. But it's a good day. It's Good Friday and a good day. Yeah, always get a good crowd at opening day.
Home opener, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's get it to the PGA Tour. The Texas Open well underway. Robert McIntyre with a huge lead at 14 under. He shot an 8 under 64 today. Ludwig Oberg also playing well at 10 under.
You know, McIntyre's a guy, Hayes, doesn't look the part. You know, he's not lean and fit like some of them are, and he doesn't have the poster looks. He's a really good player. I think Lee Smith was telling us about him, 2 years ago probably. And you know Oberg's a good player who lives here. So, gosh, there's a lot of good young players. You know that? I mean, my goodness, there's a lot. It's one of the things that makes the tour so great these days. A lot of good, really good young players.
Watch for Oberg next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's definitely one of the guys.
Close call at the Players. Obviously, looks like he's playing well this week. So, definitely one to watch. McIntyre, by the way, has a 4-shot lead right now. So, he will go into the weekend in utter command. We'll see if he can hold on. Wanted to tell you guys about this. CBS has released a trailer for 1986. This is a documentary that highlights the 40-year anniversary of Jack Nicklaus's miraculous Masters win in 1986 at the age of 46. It will air Sunday, April 12th at noon, so right before CBS starts final round coverage of the Masters. I cannot wait to watch it. The trailer looks magnificent.
I did my friend Buddy Martin's show in Ocala. JJ's good buddies with Buddy, you know Buddy, and we did the show and Buddy was there that day covering it. We got talking about it. I think it's going to be spectacular. That's of course you were too young, but I
actually remember because my dad was such a huge Nicklaus fan.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it with him that day, but my friends and I were playing football on the first hole of the Bay Meadows golf course, which is 25 years gone now. And my dad would open the sliding glass door and be like, "He made it!"
I love
and
that.
we would
Really
cool. And then we'd kind of come in and watch for a few minutes, and then we'd go back out and play football. So he was kind of updating us.
Right.
And so then at the very end, we did go in and watch. But I had never seen my dad so excited in my life, and it just resonated with me. So I was not even 10 years old yet, but it's one of my first sports memories.
I was playing on a very good slow pitch softball team. We had baseball. We were still playing baseball. Back then, everybody played slow pitch softball at Drew Park, and we were practicing at the San Souci Park. and finished it up, and all went to watch it. And we all went to watch it together. I remember, I mean, that's a moment you remember where you were when Jack Nicklaus won at 40 years old, won 46 years old, won the Masters in 1986. Great moment. I'm like you, I can't wait to watch the documentary.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Let's get to college baseball. JU beat Stetson 5-1 last night. We were out there for the show. It was a lot of fun. That series resumes tonight at 7. UNF lost to Queens 7-3. The Ospreys host Queens again at 6:05. So local baseball in the city tonight if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, UNF lost last night, but UNF's very good. They've got a very good team. They started 8-1 in the league. They're still 8-2 in a very good A-Sun conference. So UNF will be just fine. You asked Chris Hayes a question yesterday. It was a good one. Could the win over Florida jumpstart you a little bit? Well, they played really well last night against a good Stetson team. So I think the question you asked him, and he said maybe. He said I think might happen with JU for sure.
Let's get to pop culture. I wanted to give you guys a review of the TV show that we have started watching, Rooster, with Steve Carell on HBO. Have you guys by chance watched this yet?
I haven't.
I've seen the trailer.
Okay. It's really good.
He's like a college professor.
He's a college professor, sort of reluctantly. But that doesn't spoil anything. But they're like 4 episodes in. The only problem with HBO is they do make you wait each week for the episode.
I like that.
See,
it's like old school.
It is old school.
I do. You can't binge.
I wish I could just watch the whole thing, but they won't let you. So that's fine. So they're only 4 episodes in, and it's like a 30, 40-minute, episode each time. So if you're looking for something to, to watch this weekend, I would recommend it. If you like Steve Carell, if you like kind of sarcastic, quirky comedy, it's got a lot of great supporting characters as well. So anyway, I would give Rooster a thumbs up.
All right, you know what? I'll check it out.
All right, there you go. We'll get you out with today's musical note. How about this? On this date, back in 1973.
Wow.
Jacksonville's own Leonard Skinner records Freebird, featuring one of the greatest guitar solos in rock history. The song has become an iconic anthem. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006.
I wish I could have seen Skinner with Ronnie Van Zant. I mean,
can you imagine?
We've seen incarnations of Skinner since,
right?
But I really wish I could have seen Skinner with Ronnie Van Zant. I never did.
Yeah,
but I really did. What great work as always, and one of the great rock songs of all time. One of the great rock songs of all time. Well done as always. Hour 2 is next on a Friday. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
In a world where life can be predictable,
I will give them something they've never seen before.
1010XL.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at Five-Star Ballpark. Join us tonight for fireworks and tomorrow at 6:35 for more fireworks and free Southpaw onesies to the first 2,000 fans through the main gate, courtesy of Miller Electric and Hyatt Regency Jacksonville Riverfront. Catch on the field and free face painting before the game on Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day at 2:05. Tickets start at just $5.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first. For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer team, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
We've all seen the Nike logo on many famous athlete shirts and hats. But what is Nike? The answer next.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Nike is the goddess of victory. No wonder Scotty Scheffler wears that logo.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
If you're the one that takes control, keeps projects on track, and gets the job done right, Purple Heart Pools wants to talk to you. We're hiring project managers to lead pool builds and renovations across Jacksonville. This isn't just a job. It's a leadership role in a company built on accountability, communication, and precision. If you know how to manage crews, timelines, and deliver results, there's a spot for you here. Step up, take ownership, lead from the front. Purple Heart Pools, now hiring project managers. Apply online today.
Equal opportunity employer. I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Gators dropped the first game of the series against Ole Miss last night, 6-4. They're back at it tonight for Game 2 at 6:30, and we'll wrap up the series Saturday evening at 7:30. Listen to both games live on 1010 AM as well as the 1010XL app. It's 80 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Aaron Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
All right, big news today. If you haven't been following it, Trayvon Walker has been signed an extension by the Jags. That's really all we've talked about. 4 years, $110 million, 77 guaranteed, 50 at signing. We'll go back to that comment or that topic when Pete Prisco joins us in about 10, 12 minutes or so. So big news in Jacksonville. Trayvon's going to be here for a long time, and man, is that good news. Been talking about it all day today. Great job on headlines. I wanted to get to this, and this I teased this, and then it's been all Trayvon ever since. Did you see where Greg Byrne and Kirby Smart both said it's time to do away with the SEC championship game?
Yeah, very interesting.
What do you think about the comment? And what do you think about the game?
I am fine with them getting rid of it, but they need to replace it, I think, with like a doubleheader that becomes like a play-in game to the tournament.
Okay.
Where like it's the SEC 3 versus 5, SEC 4 versus 6, or however they want to do it. And those two winners get, and this is assuming it's at 16, but then that's how you decide the SEC's, let's say they're pretty much always going to have 3 or 4 teams. So I think something like that would be very cool, which almost starts the playoff a little earlier than the official start of the college football playoff. I mean, I'd love to have like a triple header, have those 2 games and then have the SEC title game. I do think you're going to end up with scenarios where teams are tied, and then it's like, I hate co-champions, so I don't really like that. So I'd like to keep the game, but if they're going to get rid of the game, then I think they should give fans something that weekend that is very, very meaningful towards the college football playoff.
See, I do too. And by the way, JJ, just so you know, Pete Alonso's up with 2 on. I'm very nervous. Okay, just so you know that. I
called it.
I want to share it. I'm very nervous about this. Very nervous moment for me. Great idea to have other games. You still have the weekend. You don't lose the weekend. Here's where I'm torn here. I think it makes some sense now that you're going to have all these postseason games. Why add one? Why add a challenge for a team that's earned its way into the tournament? And quite frankly, if you win the SEC regular season, you're probably going to be a really high seed anyway. Why put them in a situation where they've got to risk injury, loss, whatever, when other teams around the country don't have to? It's different in the NFL when everybody risks the same thing. So it probably makes sense. There's some logic to it. When Greg Burns said it, there's some logic to it. There's some logic to it when everybody that's talked about it. But dang, I'll miss it. We talk about how we missed signing day. I can tell you some of the most fun I ever had. I probably covered. Did you cover any of them?
Oh yeah, they were great.
You covered a bunch, right?
I did not a bunch, but I covered like Florida, Arkansas,
which is a great game.
I think I covered probably 3.
Okay, I covered. Well, let's see. I was at the first one in '92. That was the Antonio Langham run back. 93 when Shane Edge on the fake punt.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 90. I mean, Florida was in 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. Wasn't Florida in the first 5?
I think so.
I think Florida played in the first 5 of those. I was at every one of those. And so 97 they weren't, 98 they weren't. 99, I think they lost to Alabama.
It was at the Darrell Jackson.
Yeah, that was a home game. The Darrell Jackson drop was a home game. But anyway, the point is, the magic of that weekend, the magic of the fanfare the night before, the magic of the game. It wasn't magical in Birmingham those first 2 years, but the minute it moved to Alabama, so here's where I'm torn. I think getting rid of it is probably the right thing, because now that you have a playoff system, the last thing a team that's earned its way to a top 2 or 3 seed needs to happen is to play another game. That's the last thing. I mean, football, you get hurt, man. It's the ultimate injury game. So I don't think you should have to play it, but gosh, I'll miss it. I thought the SEC championship game, and I will say this, even if it's gone, give Roy Kramer credit, because by starting the SEC championship game, by coming up with that launched all the postseason. We have no playoffs now if we hadn't had these championship games. No, until then, all you ever had was play your 10 games or your 11 games, and the highest ranked teams go to the best bowl games, and the other teams go to other bowl games. And Roy Kramer started it, Hayes. Roy Kramer's the one that started this. It's okay to play after the regular season. It's okay to have to win a title on the field. And that led to other championship games, and that led to a 14 playoff, and now the playoff we have now. So even if it goes away, and as much as it breaks my heart, it probably should go away. I mean, it really should. But it laid the groundwork for the playoff that we have today.
Without a doubt, Roy Kramer is a visionary that is going to be hard to be matched in terms of his impact in Southern football and football on the national level as well. I do hope that they keep something, though. I mean, I don't want it to just. Well, I mean, do they need the weekend for the expanded playoff? Because I would like to have some element that incorporates a winner go home for that weekend.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Well,
how the schedule will work out for it.
Your point's a great point. Your point is, if they could do what you said, the teams that earn their way in get a bye that weekend, for lack of a better phrase. Okay, they get what's really a bye that weekend, and other teams play to get in. But I'd like everybody to do it. If not just the SEC. But yeah, I like it. Now to do that, you'd have to have more automatic qualifiers, because there'd have to be enough.
The SEC would have to get 4.
Correct, and you'd have to. And if the Big Ten gets 4, then they'd have to have this game too. You'd have to have. You couldn't play that game unless there was an automatic berth at the end of it. Why play it? Then it's just a bowl game,
right?
So it makes some sense. But we'll see what winds up happening. Well, any of those stand out more to you than others? The SEC championship games, whether it's Florida or anybody.
The one where Florida beat Alabama when
they were number 1.
Tebow hit Hernandez. I still don't know how Aaron Hernandez caught the ball.
The 08 game?
Yeah.
I think Bama was number 1 in that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's the last SEC title Florida won. but that's the one that resonates the most with me because that was the best, in my opinion. Florida had some games where in the SEC title game where they were like massive favorites. Like they killed Arkansas twice.
Right.
But the one that I'll remember is the one with Tebow making it was the game where like it was something like, remember there was that funny stat of like whether it was like Tebow had never led a game-winning drive or there
something like that.
or it was or maybe Alabama under Saban had never blown.
Right.
There was some sort of big feat that Florida overturned in that game. And because it was Vernon Danielson.
Yeah.
And they kept bringing it up. But it was a great game back and forth. I mean, again, the NFL talent on the field that day was extraordinary. And it was a game that Florida could have easily lost. It was very much a coin flip. And Florida ended up winning and then going on to beat Oklahoma for the title.
See, nowadays, both those teams would have been in the playoffs. So it would have just been like an unnecessary game. But yeah, that was 2008.
The one I remember was obviously the 96. They won their first title. They needed Texas to beat Nebraska. Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
They needed Texas to beat, and I was on the Gator Network by then. I did the pregame on the Gator Network back then. And they needed Texas to beat Nebraska, or it wouldn't have mattered. But because if Texas beat Nebraska, then Florida was playing FSU they're already set to play FSU, I think, in the Sugar Bowl. And if and FSU and Arizona, I think FSU and Arizona State were undefeated in Nebraska. Well, once Nebraska got beat, they were out of the mix. And then Florida, then I think Florida then knew they could play for the title. I was on the floor, the floor I was staying in. Again, I traveled with the Gators back then. The floor I was staying in was where all the offensive linemen were. Okay, and everyone when they hadn't left for the stadium yet. Offensive linemen are big guys. Okay, when that was James Brown the quarterback or the tight end? There was a guy named James.
I think he caught the pass.
There was a guy named James Brown for Texas that caught a pass that cinched the game. When he
on a gutsy call.
It was a 4. Yeah, that's right. So this guy James Brown catch it. Anyway, when this happens, and you knew Texas had won
because they were a big underdog,
and now you knew Florida could win the national title.
Earthquake.
I mean, earthquake, dude. We were on like the 4th floor, the Marriott, the airport Marriott in Atlanta, and I mean, you was boom, 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 boom. I'm like, and I was jumping around too. We all were, but when that thing happened, we were all going crazy, and that's the one that stands out the most. The funniest story I have about SEC championship games is my buddy Rick Lamb and I went to whatever the Arkansas was. It 06? Was it 06 or 08? Whatever Arkansas.
They beat them in 06.
Yeah, they blew them out. Spurrier blew them out.
They beat McFadden in 06. Yeah, and then the Spurrier Arkansas game was like 34-3.
Yeah, 38-3. Yeah. So, but the McFadden one, I'm in this. I didn't not covering. I'm in the stands with my buddy Rick Lamb. We had taken an RV and both our families went up there, and Rick will laugh about this if he's listening. Florida kept throwing this shovel pass. They were barely getting away, and Rick he gets all tight. He goes, if they keep throwing that shovel pass, one of those fat defensive linemen is going to intercept it and run it back. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, an Arkansas fat defensive lineman. Do you remember that play?
Yeah.
Rick Lamb had said it. He said, I'm telling you, one of those fat defensive linemen are going to intercept it and run. 5 minutes later, I was kind of mad and laughing all at the same time that he hit it. So,
what I remember about that game is Wandy Pierre-Louis recovering the fumbled punt.
Okay.
Arkansas muffed the punt inside their 5.
Okay, I remember
and
that.
Wandy Pierre-Louis recovered it at like the 1 yard line.
I remember the Harvin run.
The Harvin run was unbelievable.
Percy got loose.
I mean, his acceleration in person, particularly on that track,
right?
I mean,
it was unbelievable.
It was unreal.
All right, let's take a break. Let's more about the Trayvon extension and more about the NFL in a moment when we join Pete Prisco. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
A PGA voice.
Joe Coward.
A national writer.
Matt Hayes.
A Jaguars legend.
Leon Searcy.
One table, one big show.
XL Primetime.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
You've always known Beard's Diamonds for, well, our diamonds. But have you heard about our watches? Beards is proud to introduce a new and exciting selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. If you've tried to find a Rolex these days, you know how hard it is. But Beards has scoured the country to put together an incredible selection of pristine Rolexes, thoroughly inspected and fully authenticated. These are like new Rolexes, all the most popular models, GMT Masters, Submariners, Sky Dwellers, and more. Come in today and check out our new collection of amazing timepieces. And if you have a Rolex to sell or trade, Beards buyers are here with top dollar offers. Beards Diamonds, always looking for new ways to give our customers the finest quality and the guaranteed best value price. Locally owned and operated for more than 4 decades, Beards is your trusted source for fine diamonds, exquisite designer jewelry, stunning engagement rings, and now the finest luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Come find the Rolex of your dreams now. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
He's our Big Mac.
Woo! It's Smash Mouth football, baby!
Tom McManus brings his big opinions to Jaguars Today.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010 XL.
Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Ever have one of those mornings when you're trying to piece together the night before? Yeah, we've all been there. Now imagine that morning turned into a comedy. Morning After Grace is on stage starting April 9th at the Alhambra Theater and Dining. And it's smart, funny, and totally relatable. A night out that's equal parts laughs and insight. Get your tickets at alhambrajax.com. Alhambra Theater and Dining. Great food, great laughs, and a show you won't forget.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hey, Jacksonville, David Garrard here. If you want a street-legal golf cart that's built with quality and style, check out Dynamic Drives and Designs in Jacks Beach. They have new, used, and fully customized carts from the top brands like Atlas, Dodge, and Pilot Car. Every cart gets a complete expert inspection, so you know it's ready to hit the road. Their team can help you design the perfect custom cart that fits your style and needs. For your custom golf cart, visit dynamicdrivesdesign.com today and see your perfect ride.
The Golf Club of Southampton is gearing up for brand new greens and a lot more, and now's your chance to save on membership before the fee increase. Take advantage of a $1,000 savings if you join before the work starts in late April and before the initiation fee goes up. It's a great deal, plus $500 additionally in Pro Shop credit. Don't miss out. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Become a member now and save big. The course is in great shape, so head on out to the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. Termites, chinch bugs, roaches. It's their time of year to shine. Preventative maintenance is a heck of a lot cheaper than treating an active infestation. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule your free estimate.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC. Home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Time for all things Jaguars and NFL with Pete Prisco. The Prisco Report, presented by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Showtime.
On the Frangie Show.
All right, head over to Showtime to get a chance to. Ezra Cleveland, the left guard for the Jags, terrific player, had a really good year last year. He's going to be signing autographs at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Tuesday, April 21st. Now, this comes up in a few weeks. Tuesday, April 21st, from 5:30 to 7:30. Get on over there. You know where Showtime is. It's on Phillips Highway right at the end of Shad Road. April 21st, 5:30 to 7:30, and you get to meet Ezra Cleveland, the terrific Jaguars guard, and you get his autograph as well. Pete Prisco joins us now from CBSSports.com. Pete, the Jags extended Trayvon Walker I think it's a really good move. They're wrapping up their core and they're building a core foundation. Good day for the Jags. What do you think?
Yeah, and look, the number isn't that bad. I mean, when you look at it from that standpoint, he didn't get more than Josh Hines-Allen, which I don't think he should have. You look at some of the numbers that were given out in free agency with, Owe and Phillips and those numbers, he didn't get to that. So I think it's a fair deal for both. And let's be real, he's a really good football player. He has to be a better pass rusher. He's been a good pass rusher, but when you drafted number 1 overall and now you have that kind of contract, he's got to be better rushing the passer. And I think one of the things that they'll do with him was something I've been preaching for a long time. I think he needs to rush from the inside more. And we saw more and more of that last year. I think he can be dominant if he rushes from the inside.
Is this as healthy as the Jaguars have been roster-wise in 25 years, in your opinion?
Well, like you said, the core is there. And when you have the core, and it starts with, if you have the quarterback and they now have they believe, and you guys all believe, we all believe that they have the quarterback. So that starts it. Then you get pass rushers, and they have 2 of them. Whether you think Walker's an elite pass rusher or not, they have 2 guys. I still think they need to add a twitchy edge rusher, which I think they will add, to kind of let him reduce inside and play inside more. So, and you have a corner that you drafted last year that didn't play, basically, and he's going to be the number 1 corner. So you got a great nucleus of players, and I think that's what you have to have sustainable success in the NFL.
Pete, what about Brenton Strange and Parker Washington? Do they get extended this year? Hayes thinks maybe later in the summer. What's your expectation there?
Yeah, I think that they're both next, and I think both of them, ideally, they'd love to get both of them done. And if you're Strange, I think look, he's a good player, can block and catch. You look at the tight end position, I think that one gets done. If I'm Parker Washington, I'm doing everything I can to get it done as quickly as possible. And look, we all believe he's a really good football player, but he's coming off a high. And you don't know what if Hunter comes back and starts taking some of your reps next year and starts taking some of your catches away. You don't know how that'll play out. So if I'm him, I'd get that deal done. I think I'm with you, Hayes. I think they both get done before the regular season starts.
Do you like the way the draft sets up for them in terms of positions that we think they're going to invest in and where the talent is in this draft, particularly, the 56th pick and then the 3 in the 3rd round?
I do. But they've gotten, ripped a little bit for the Hunter trade based on what it looked like and what he did last year. When you look at it from this year's draft, and not having the 1st round pick isn't so bad. This isn't a great draft at the top, and they wouldn't be picking at the top anyways, but it's not a great draft in the 1st round. What it is a good draft 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so you're going to have a lot of picks and a lot of swings at it. It's really a good opportunity for them to address some of those needs. And I anticipate their picks will be defensive tackle. I don't know which order they're going to go, but defensive tackle, twitchy edge rusher. And by that, I mean, I don't mean just a big power end. I'm talking about a twitchy guy who can put his hand on the ground and can explode off the corner. I think those are the 2 priorities. But then you supplement it. They need, whether they need the weak side linebacker is up for determination or not. They like Miller. He can play 1st and 2nd down. They like Combs, who they think can run and cover. So I don't think they have to force anything. If there's a player where they're picking it in the 2nd round that they really like, you don't have to, and maybe nobody at the position that they really like, then you can take the good football player. They don't have to force a thing because they can play right now with what they have.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to 2 things you said. I completely agree with you about the rusher. They need the Von Miller, Khalil Mack body is what you're saying. The 6'3", 245 guy. They've got the 6'5", 280 guy. That's your point, and I totally agree with that. But I want to go back to weak side linebacker for a second. I'm surprised. Ventrell Miller right now is the guy. They really do like Branson Combs, but they're both young players. Ventrell's still pretty young. I still think somehow, some way, Pete, there will be a veteran in that room to compete at that weak side spot. I don't know how, because they didn't do it in a trade. They didn't do it in free agency. It might be a post-June 1 deal. Don't you think you bring in some age there just to compete at that spot since everybody you got there is young right now?
I don't necessarily agree with that, Frank. I'm a big believer in that position. You can play a young guy. If he's athletic enough and smart enough, he can step in and play. And, to be honest, I like a young, athletic guy who can run. If you could find, we just talked about it, Miller and Combs playing, if you split the position up. Well, if you can find a young guy who can run and is athletic and can play, then I think you draft them. And it doesn't have to be, with the first 3 picks. It could be a 4th or 5th round pick. You bring him in there and you say, you know what, this guy can flat out run. He can cover. We can keep him on the field in certain situations. I think that's the most important thing. I think sometimes we get caught up in the names of the older players or the veteran players. I think we got to start looking at some of those younger players in some of those spots.
Well, what did you make of the Raiders signing Kirk Cousins?
Look, I get it. You want a veteran quarterback in there so you don't have to rush the guy. But I'm a big believer in playing the kid. I think you get on with it. And everybody always points to guys who failed because they played right away. And they always use David Carr as the perfect example. Well, let's be real. David Carr went home at 5 o'clock from what I was told. He wasn't one of those live in the facility kind of guys. It wasn't, he was cut from a different cloth. If you're the Peyton Manning and you play right away, you're going to put everything you have into it. You're going to be one of those guys that you're going to take your lumps and you're going to realize you're going to grow from those lumps. Every quarterback I've ever talked to said, I learned more playing in one game than I learned watching an entire season. So why not get on with it? Find out what you have and play them. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes guys get rushed, and it's not a great situation. But I look at the Raiders situation. You're going to be turning and handing the ball off to Genty. You have Bowers when he's on the field is a heck of a player. The offensive line will be better. You get Colton Miller back at left tackle. They have a chance. They have some young receivers that they like. They have a chance to put a decent group around him and let him play. Kirk Cousins, all that does is delay. To me, it delays the inevitable of allowing the kid to go in there, find out what he is, and let him play.
Let me ask you then, because I agree with you, by the way, and I think Mendoza is more mature than some guys that have come into the league. I mean, I think he's got a good, not great arm. He's big. He's got a good, but I think he's smart as heck, and I think he'll connect with older guys. He's one of those guys that will connect with older guys faster than some others. So I agree with you. But let me ask you, how good can the Raiders be? Because the team that traded Max Crosby was a terrible team. The team that got him back wasn't nearly as bad. What do you think about the Raiders?
The division kills them. I mean, if they were in another division, you sit there, okay, so they make progress this year, you get 7-8 wins. Well, I don't think in that division that's going to be possible. I mean, you get to play 2 games against the Chargers, who are going to be pretty good. You can play 2 games against the Broncos, who are going to be really good. You're going to play 2 games against the Chiefs. If Mahomes comes back and everybody says he's ahead of schedule, then they're going to be, back to being the Chiefs again. Maybe not to that degree, but still a playoff team. So I think it's tough on them because of the division they're in. But you're going to see progress with the Raiders. Mendoza, to me, he's got 2 things. Like I always say, he's tough and he's accurate. If you're tough and you're accurate, you're going to stand in there and you're going to make throws. And I think that's two of the most important things for a quarterback. And so he will be pretty good right away, I think. And I just think that they're going to be guilty of playing in such a tough division that you might not necessarily see it this year.
Are you concerned about the refs' labor dispute at all?
No. And here's why. I think, if they do go to replacement officials, they're going to have it kind of in the league office correcting mistakes, which, by the way, is probably the precursor to what it will be if they do that and the officials do come back. Because you have the technology. Why not fix it?
Yes.
Why not allow it to be, overturned or corrected? I think that's something they're going to look at, and they're going to kind of, if that indeed happens, they're going to study that. By the way, I also don't think the replacement officials were not nearly as bad as they were portrayed. I remember back in the day talking to a bunch of the people in the league office. They said, nope, we're not. These guys aren't as bad as everybody's making it out to be. What happened was they had some high priority, high visibility mistakes like the Fail Mary and, a couple others. But let's go through the regular season in the NFL. You see plenty of mistakes. Let's go to the Jaguars game at Cincinnati last year. Was there not a mistake that cost them the game on the sideline by the regular officials?
Yep.
Yeah. So it happens all the time. So I'm one. Look, are they as good? No. Will they be horrible? No. Will the game be played? Yes. And I think with the fact that they might take it to the league office and have those guys oversee them, I think it will be. You won't really notice it as much, and I think it's going to be one of the overblown stories.
You said something that I've been saying all along. So the NFL puts in this rule, right? And this rule says that for 1 year only, we will allow the eye in the sky to fix all these mistakes. and then this rule goes away when the officials come back if it happens that way. Why wouldn't you always do it, Pete? If you can, why would you? If you could, I've always said if the camera can correct it immediately, no matter what it is, why not correct it even when the real officials come back, right?
Because this is the precursor to that, Frank. This is exactly what that is.
I hope it is.
They're going to test it. Yeah, and I'm with you. Look, we're getting into the age of AI, and I'm talking to people in the league. There's AI as a part of the scouting process now. It might not be able to go to a school and sit down and talk to a player and evaluate him or break down the tape. But, in terms of putting all the data together and coming up with that, AI is part of it. And so I think you're looking to the league office now, and why not use the technology to improve the officiating and correct the mistakes? I'm with you. I've always been a big believer in that. As far as the mechanism and how will it slow down the game, would you rather get a call right, or would you rather have 35 more seconds added to the game? I think if you ask all the fans that, they'd rather have the call right.
Who do you like in the Final Four?
Arizona's the best team.
Oh.
I think
that pains you to say that.
Do you hate Arizona? Like we all, Florida State and Florida all hate each other. Do you hate Arizona?
I don't like them. I don't hate them. And part of me is like jealous of the basketball program. But I also remember back when I was at school at ASU, and they went, I think one year they went 1-20 something, and they had about 4,000 people in their crowd every night. And they forget that. They forget what old McHale Center used to look like when it was empty, and ASU went into the tournament as the third-ranked team in the country and blew it. Yeah,
do you hate?
Forget all that.
Do you hate that you have the bad Hurley? Do you hate that? Did you get the wrong Hurley? Does that bother you?
Well, we got rid of him, so it's okay. We're moving forward.
So you don't have him any.
We're moving forward.
So you don't have him anymore.
You know what they did? They got rid of Hurley, and now they hired a coach that's going to play in the 50s the rest of his life, and Randy Bennett from St. Mary's. I mean, come on.
All right. Pete Frisco checking in, talking CBS.
By the way, your team choked.
Oh, they totally choked. They totally choked.
Worst game they've played all year.
Yeah, totally.
They should be in the Final Four. They were one of the better teams.
No question.
They just flat out choked.
There's no doubt about it. Pete Frisco talking NFL and more. Pete,
but
thanks,
they
buddy.
won it all last year, Pete.
They did.
Yeah, so you got that going for you. See you guys.
See you, Pete. Pete Frisco checking in from CBS Sports. One more time, let me remind you, offensive lineman Ezra Cleveland, he'll be signing autographs at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Tuesday, April 21st from 5:30 to 7:30. Go get his autograph. Ezra's a good guy and had a terrific year last year for the Jags. And don't forget, you can find out all about Showtime on all those social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Do you know what time it is?
What time?
Might be Loser Monday pick time.
Wow.
Just saying, we're drafting players from the Final Four.
JJ LaSelva on the clock.
I don't know if you have
I'll
to be.
take Konnor Griffin.
I don't know if you have.
Is he on base again? By the way,
he got walked.
How about that?
I don't know if you have to be able to pronounce the name to pick the player.
Nah.
If
we'll figure it out.
so, we'll have no players. So there's that. Our picks are coming up for Loser Monday. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's hard to explain, but play-by-play just sounds better on the radio.
What a turn of events!
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play.
Transform your backyard with CSS fireplaces and outdoor living, fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they can build it. Visit CSSOutdoor.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harold and Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harold and Harold make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
The Jacksonville Icemen are in town for 3 games, starting Thursday for $3 beer and wine night, plus Paint the Ice. Be part of Paint the Ice post-game and honor a loved one in a powerful way. Your $5 donation helps support cancer-related organizations right here in our community. Then join us again on Friday and Saturday as the Icemen continue to freeze the Florida Everblades. All games start at 7 p.m. Tickets available on Ticketmaster. or by visiting JacksIceman.com.
Iceman hockey is #Sub-Zero.
Looking for golf that doesn't feel like golf? Welcome to Pine Royale, Callahan's new golf entertainment destination. Play a 9-hole par 3 course, compete in TrackMan-powered driving bays, and get ready for all-new 18-hole mini golf coming soon. As the sun goes down, the course lights up. Add in great food, a full bar, and space to hang with the whole crew, and suddenly golf feels a whole lot more social. Search Pine Royale Callahan and come play today.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, the golden moment today, obviously, the news that Trayvon Walker is going to be a Jaguar for a long time. That is really good news, and we're really excited about that. The news broke right when we began the program, so we talked a lot about that, including with our friend Pete Prisco. Trayvon Walker here for the next 4 years at least, and that is very, very good news there. Now,
it's Loser Monday, brought to you by Bono's on Bowden Road. Who's the big loser today?
love it, love it.
Wow.
Love it. The
intensity has been ratcheted up.
The only official loser so far this year is J.J. LaSelva. He hails from Central Ocala. I thought I had lost, but the committee overruled it. You know, we have a good committee. It's a one-man committee, okay? But so there's only one loser so far this year. You know what? Let me just say this.
I enjoyed the Bono still the same.
Yes,
though.
you did. And I did make the run. Yes, I did. So we've made 2 trips to bonus. Here we go. So I had to my guy did better. So rather correction. My bracket was one better than yours. So I picked last. So here we go. We're picking players in the final 4 total points. That's what it is. So hopefully you'll get a guy that moves on. J.J. LaSelva, right from the middle of the Ocala Forest is where he's from.
Yes.
You pick first. Who do you
Hog
like?
Valley. Okay, so my thinking was this guy Yaxo. Am I saying his name correctly?
Yeah.
He's probably the best player, I guess, remaining. But
yes,
I think Illinois is going to beat UConn. So therefore, I'm going to take the 2 games. I'm going to take their top scorer, Keaton Wagler, my first overall pick.
Okay, it might be pronounced Wagler, but very good. Nice job right out of the gate. He wasn't afraid. Keaton Wagler. Hayes Carline, he hails from the Bowl School, gunner on that Corky Rogers state champion team.
You know, we always let the draft come to us. And we feel very excited to welcome Yaxel Lindenberg. We believe into the family.
Yeah, and
so we will take Yaxel Lindenborg. With the second overall pick.
JJ passed on Lindenborg, and we wonder why he lost last year. So there is that going for us.
I just think Arizona could win.
Sure,
and then you're screwed, kind of.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So you are exactly right about that. So I've got 2 picks now. I am going to go with Terrace Reed.
All right.
The big man.
UConn.
From UConn. And I'm going to go with Koa Pete from Arizona. So, right back to Hayes Carline.
I will take... I'm going to take Braden Burries from Arizona, please.
Yeah, the leading scorer on that team. JJ's got 2 picks.
I was going to take Burries. I'll take a guy from Michigan. I'll take Morez Johnson.
Okay.
And I'll take Peja's son, Stojakovic.
That's actually
from Illinois.
That's a good back-to-back for you. Stojakovic is off the board. Hang on one second. Got that. And so, Hayes Carline, your last pick.
I will take Alex Caravan.
Very good pick as well. And I see I've got a Arizona and I've got a UConn. So I am going to take David Merkovich from Illinois.
All right.
So there you go. We have got our picks are done. Wagler, Johnson, Stojakovic for JJ, Lendenberg, Burries, and Caravan for Hayes. Reed, Pete, and Merkovich for me. Those are our picks, and you hope like heck that your guy gets to Monday night. That's kind of the hope of kind of how you hope this thing goes. So meanwhile...
So I do not have an Illinois player. JJ does not have
a UConn
player. And Frank, you do not have a Michigan player.
I don't have a Michigan player or excuse me, I don't have an Arizona player or a UConn player.
Oh, that's right, because you doubled up on Illinois.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And I...
It's my strat.
Yeah,
interesting. All right.
And here's how smart I am. I don't have a Michigan player. They're probably going to win. So there you go. So that's how smart I am. So, but anyway, so that is our Loser Monday. Right now, JJ's behind in the Loser Monday category, but we'll see who winds up going. Not till Tuesday, by the way.
I like that when I lose this one, I'll have get back immediately with the Masters. I won't have to wait very long.
That's exactly right. And again, we will eat on Tuesday.
That's right.
Because we have to wait till Monday
Very
night.
unlikely it'll be settled after Saturday.
Yeah,
exactly
no
right.
way.
So let's take a break. We will wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The men's Final Four on Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis as the Illinois Fighting Illini will take on the UConn Huskies. Illinois in the Final Four for the first time since 2005. They won the South region. UConn looking for their third national championship in the past 4 seasons under Dan Hurley. Illinois a 1.5 favorite, minus 134, while UConn is at plus 112. The over-under at 139.5. The other national semifinal pits 2 number 1 seeds in Michigan against Arizona. The Wolverines a 1.5 favorite over the Wildcats. Arizona plus 104. Michigan minus 125. The over-under is at 157.5.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keystoprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010 XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Well, it's earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Now, look, I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. That is a true story. I started in 1982 buying my cars from Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul. He taught me how to buy a car, and I've been doing it ever since. I trust my friends at Nimnick. They care about the community. They care about their customers. They do it right. They've supported our charity, Walk Off Charity, so many times. I really do appreciate that. If you want to buy a car, you want to be treated right, not just when you buy the car, but after the sale as well. Well, that's what they do. They care about their customers, they care about this community, and they care about treating you right. So who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? That answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett or go to nimnickchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed.
But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with the personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Frank Frangie here. If you're expecting a tax return this year, here's a smart way to use it. Invest in new tires from Big Chief Tire. It's one of the best things you can do for your car and your safety. I've been going to Big Chief for years because they do it right every time. Put that refund to good use and hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today and let Big Chief take care of you. That's Big Chief Tire.
Hey there, ET here with 1010XL. And here's a little how to be cool secret. No need to wait for an anniversary or a birthday. I just simply dial up Kuhn Flowers and send someone something special for absolutely no reason. It's really fun. And I can do it online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Gary Katay with Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville. I specialize in the treatment of the hand, elbow, and shoulder. Many people suffer from tendinitis in the hand and upper extremity, often caused by repetitive motion. Prevention starts with good posture, frequent breaks, and simple stretching. Don't ignore early signs of pain. Act before it worsens. Visit us in person or online at osjax.com.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
Coach Campo here, and I just want to tell you about the best pizza I've had right here in Duval, and that's Tony D's Pizza. Tony works hard to make every slice perfect. If you love pizza like I do, you need to go to Tony D's, Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
Told you this before. Of all these concerts I've seen, and I just went to a lot. I'm an old guy. I've gone to 100 concerts. I don't know that any was better than the Victory Tour, the Jackson Victory Tour.
Oh wow!
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the fan of the Jacksons that I was some of the others, but one of the great ones I've ever seen. Big Chief Tire, always our sponsor. 6 locations in town: the North Side, 2 on the West Side, Mandarin, Orange Park, and South Side. If you want a terrific place for all your automotive needs, tires, whatever tire you need, they'll take care of it. That's their specialty. The brakes, oil changes, alignments, they do it all. My friends at Big Chief Tire. The big news of the day, we've told you about it all day long. Trayvon Walker signed to an extension by the Jaguars. That is really good news, and I'm really happy for him. I'm happy for the Jags. He took a little bit more than he could have gotten. I think he's a hard worker. I think he plays well. Look, a lot of the people that have commented on this, including Mike and Pete, I agree with them. The sack numbers need to go up. You're the first overall pick in the draft. You've been extended to a $100 million deal. At this point, the $110 million deal. The sack numbers need to go up, but I'm confident they will. Hayes, I think he's a really good player. Good things come to people that grind as hard as he does, and I think he's going to be that guy.
I think what's really exciting is just how young he still is. I mean, he's 25. This is really his year 25 season because he doesn't turn 26 until a week before Christmas. So you're looking at a player that is athletically as gifted as really pretty much anybody in the NFL outside of like Myles Garrett. And so you've got these amazing traits. He's still just 25. and he is learning still as he goes here. I still think there is upside with Trayvon Walker. So you're talking about him playing now year 25, year 26, year 27, year 28. That's going to be the prime of his career. These next 4 years should be the best years for Trayvon Walker. There's no doubt in my mind that if he had played this coming season and hit the market, he would have signed a much bigger deal than the deal he signed today. I think this is a very reasonable contract for the Jaguars. And again, compare his deal to Aiden Hutchinson's. I understand Hutchinson's been the better player so far. I totally understand that. But Hutchinson signs a 4-year extension worth $180 million, $141 million guaranteed for a guy that, by the way, snapped his leg in half 2 years ago. Trayvon Walker, 4 years, $110 million, $77 million guaranteed. I think it's a wonderful deal for the Jaguars, and I commend Trayvon Walker because this tells me he had to have told his representation, I want to be a Jaguar. I want to stay here. They've taken good care of me.
That's right.
I'm not looking to break the bank. I'm not looking to set any sort of record. I want to be a Jaguar. Let's get a deal done that's fair for both sides. And this clearly is.
The fact that he loves it here is a big part of it. No question about it. We'll say hello to Rick Ballou in a minute. Final four. Who do you like tomorrow?
I actually like UConn in the upset. I just think Hurley has been there. I think they have an air about them. They've gone through Michigan State and Duke. So I like UConn. And both, I think, are going to be great games. But I'll say UConn 69-68 over Illinois. And then I do like Arizona to beat Michigan. I'll take Arizona 86-85 over Michigan. I think two thrillers. What about you?
I'll go the other way on both games. I think it's going to be a Big Ten, all Big Ten final. I think Illinois, two really good games to your point. Illinois and Michigan for me. So I'll go opposite you on both games. What about it, JJ? Who do you think?
Well, Illinois better win. That's all. I think Illinois will win. I think UConn coming back. I mean, that must take so much out of you to come back against Duke like that. Yeah. But I did see an interview with Hurley or a press conference where he was like, "We're not here for the watch. We're here for the ring," which made me feel very uneasy about my pick. I mean, that guy's just a freak. I would love to have him as my school's head coach.
Yeah.
Even though he's acts sort of like an ass a lot.
Yeah.
If he's your team's head coach, you gotta love him.
He's the only guy I would think about trading Todd Golden for.
Yeah.
The only guy.
Yeah, and Hurley, by the way, is that guy. He's the guy that you can't stand him unless he's your guy. He's and by the way, those guys are good coaches.
Yeah, they are.
Those guys tend to be really good.
I go back to last year. He outcoached Todd Golden in the second round of that game. Florida won that game because they had better players than UConn, and those better players like Clayton and Martin, really came up big in the clutch moment. But I felt like Hurley had Golden beat on tempo the whole game, on inbounds plays. I mean, I think Todd Golden, obviously, as you guys know, I think he's an A+ coach. I was really impressed with Hurley last year in a loss, and yeah, I just think he gets to this time of year, and that program in general, they just seem to figure it out. I don't think they'll win Monday night, but I do think they're going to win Saturday.
Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, big news. Trayvon Walker, 4 years, 110, 77 guaranteed. What do you think?
I think it's an interesting move. I think there's two ways to look at contracts. You get paid on what you've done, and you get paid on what they believe you can do. For Trayvon Walker and me, it's the latter. And I understand he was really beaten up last year. He had 2 different injuries, and you can't just look at sack statistics. He's a well-rounded defensive lineman, can play a variety of different positions. But if I'm Walker, and if I'm Trayvon Walker, I'm thrilled. What a contract. You hope he does live up to it. I've kind of taken the tone of what's going on here in the city, and there's mixed reviews. There's a lot of people that are like, why would you give him this amount of money? So I kind of expected that. I mean, I had Ryan O'Halloran on the other day. He didn't think he had earned a contract as of yet. So this is fascinating to me. But, I think what it says is if the Jaguars love you, they're going to keep you around.
Correct.
And I think that this is the first of at least one more. I saw 2 before training camp. My guess is Parker Washington will be next. It could be Brenton Strange, but I would think at least one more guy before training camp gets underway.
I love it, Rick, because it's hard to find good players. Whether he's Aiden Hutchinson or not, he's a darn good player, and I'm glad they're keeping their good players. What's coming up tonight?
We got a Zoom opportunity tomorrow at 1:00.
Opportunity. You know what I love? You know I love? Opportunities.
Yeah, and I'll be. I was going to say my tee time's at 1:30. I was saying I'd be on the range. That'd be a lie.
Yeah.
I've never shown up and hit balls before my tee time, so I'll be ready for that Zoom. We're going to get ready for the Final Four. Obviously, this changes things a little bit with the conversation piece now heavily on Trayvon Walker. So Friday night with a lot of great baseball, day baseball, night baseball, and just a great time to be alive, no doubt about it.
Rick Ballou, he goes into the night. That comes up right now. That'll do it for our program. Have a great Easter weekend, everybody. Happy Easter to everybody out there. We will see you on Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.